SMT Nation, we back. Nation article and updates out of AT&T and their 5G network build. I know a lot of you are very excited about AT&T, the whole, mid-band 5G, 5G plus deployment, and we got some updates from AT&T. Let's go through those disclosures, and I'm going to go ahead and link this article in the description for you guys. Also in the description is the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. Keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. There's a link in the description there. And also, if you're looking for a great deal on wireless, visit our partner, mmWave. Use the partner link in the description. You'll save money and help out the channel in the process. All right, so now for the article summary. All right, elements from this article are pretty telling about what AT&T is going to be doing this year. All right, so we've all kind of watched this play out. AT&T's network, generally speaking, is pretty modern. All right, when they landed the FirstNet contract several years ago, it was in a huge incentive and a contract to upgrade basically every site AT&T has to get radio gear up for the Band 14 that they were awarded with the contract for FirstNet. In the process of putting up that radio gear for that frequency, they also upgraded and modernized the tower sites for all of their radio frequencies. So it's been a win-win situation for them. They've been compensated for that build. They've been rewarded with spectrum and the ability to double dip and modernize their towers. So their network, very uniformly capacitive across the country. In fact, I would say it's uniformly the most coverage-based and modernized network in Ohio. I could speak to my region. And it's very good, right? And it might be great for a lot of you as well. Anyways, the one thing that they have trailed their competition in has been the pops of mid-band 5G, right? Their 5G plus network, akin to what Verizon is doing with the 5G Ultrawide band and what T-Mobile does with 5G UC. All right, 5G UC with T-Mobile in that instance, they've gone ahead because of where they started, right? They got the T-Mobile and Sprint merger to clear. They've been building that part of the network for almost 3 years. I think they're going to hit that very soon, the 3-year mark. But, Verizon and AT&T had to wait for C-band, right? So there were auctions for the spectrum. And even with that being said, AT&T has kind of been behind even, say, Verizon. The millions of pops covered. Verizon just crossed 200 million pops. I think AT&T is somewhere around 150 or 160 million maybe at the most recent disclosures and estimates. They want to be by 200 million by the end of the year. I think they get there. I think they do. I don't think it should be much of an issue. The carrier vice president of global technology and planning, AT&T's Gordon Mansfield, already indicated, they're going to hit a nice stride in 2023, and it's going to be a breakout year for the C-band and the DoD spectrum deployments. And, he's saying this is going to be a big year for them. So Verizon jumped out ahead, got very, very active at the end of 2021. They were extremely active throughout most of 2022. AT&T started a little bit later, right? We saw more action from AT&T in April and May and June, when Verizon was very active at the end of 2021 in November, December, January, right? So they were a few months ahead, right? And they kept that pace throughout the year, and that's why you see a difference. That's why you see Verizon at 200 million pops now, and AT&T saying that they want to hit 200 million pops by the end of this year. So it appears that while AT&T may be a little conservative, maybe they get to 210, maybe 220 million pops. That would be really great. Verizon's going to probably end up closer to 250 million pops. T-Mobile's looking to hit 300 million pops by the end of the year. So AT&T is going to be competitive. I don't think they're going to pass Verizon. I don't think they're going to pass T-Mobile anytime soon. I think those moments will be coming later down the road, right? 2024, 2025. And at that point, I don't even think it really matters all that much with respect to that, because once you get to 300 million pops, I mean, that's nationwide, right? The country has 340 million people. If you're covering 300 million of them with the spectrum, you've covered the country, right? What's really left? We're talking about what? 10% of the country's population, maybe 15%. It may be almost impossible to get to that point anyway. And the ROI, the return on that invested capital, may not, it may not come to fruition. Now, one of the things that I thought was interesting, he spoke to the FAA and the Federal Aviation Administration, kind of being a pain in the ass still, right? They're still waiting for them to upgrade radio altimeters, install filters on old radio gear, the radars that they use for landing planes. So that interference risk still exists. AT&T is trying to play fair ball, right? And they're just kind of like waiting for avionics to do their thing. There's still airports where AT&T has not turned on C-band, but some radio gear is up. Now, the one nice thing I did see here, they mentioned going beyond the 46 PEAs, the top 46 markets, which is an important indication that AT&T is taking this nationwide. So they'll be doing that. They'll be going nationwide. They'll be hitting the airports. So you'll have a nice capacitive experience on the AT&T network with 5G Plus with their two frequencies on the same band. Okay, so 3.45 gigahertz, the DoD, 3.7 gigahertz, the C-band. That'll be combining for AT&T to the tune of about 80 megahertz in most places for the C-band, and then 40 megahertz for the DoD. So you'll have a combination of somewhere around 120 megahertz of spectrum. I think Dallas is going to have about 140, right, because that additional 20 megahertz of 3700. But they're deploying gear, folks, and they're not bashful to put up two sets of radios. We've already seen the antennas and the radios, right? They're putting up massive MIMO gear from Nokia, from Ericsson. They're putting up the 3700 and the 3400. You know, now that they've got clearance through Ericsson to put up that one single radio, that's been approved by the FCC, but that's only in Ericsson markets. So in my markets, like here in Ohio and PA, they're using Nokia radio gear. They're putting up two, and they don't care, and I'm glad they don't. You're not going to sit around and wait for a single radio solution for another year or two from Nokia, right? And we haven't seen them use Samsung. I know they have a contract with them, but where's that gear? Anyways, folks, it's going to be a big year for AT&T. The network is going to get faster, offer more capacity. You will see, hopefully, improvements with respect to downlink and uplink. If AT&T has left a lot to be desired in your markets, be on the lookout. Upgrades are coming. And from my experience last year, when I look at what AT&T did in Ohio, those upgrades happened very quickly. The tower sites are pretty modern, right? They've been touched within the last 5 years. So if they've been upgraded within the last 3, there's not much work to do. The basebands are relatively modern. The fiber circuits are probably already set for 10 gig in most instances, right? So you're gonna be just fine. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm excited to see the evolution of the radio gear with the MIMO, to see the improvements to the uplink side, to see the RF configurations improve. They've got a lot of LTE spectrum, right? Some of that can probably start moving to 5G and R. I mean, I don't know how they're going to play it, but they don't have to if they don't want to. Remember, AT&T doesn't do fixed wireless. So this is all dedicated to the mobile side. Do not sleep on AT&T, folks. This is going to be a big year for them. They are big fiber. They are big on their own transport. And they are big on upgrades, right? And they don't do fixed wireless access. So you don't have to worry about sharing network capacity with home internet users who are taxing the network, right? On Verizon, you have to worry about that. On T-Mobile, you have to worry about that. Not AT&T, folks. And this is why I said they're the sleeper in the 5G networking. What do you guys think? What do you think of these disclosures? What do you think of my commentary? Love to hear what you have to say on this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links are in the description for all things going on with the channel. Big shout out to my YouTube members and patrons for making content on the channel possible. Links in the description for those communities if you want to become a part of them. Also, a link for the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support your creators that way. And if you want to save money and help out the channel, check out our partner, Mint Mobile. The link is in the description. Use it, save money on your wireless, and support the SMT. Thanks in advance for all those considerations. Thank you for watching. We shall see you all in the next video. Peace.